What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the next Speed Climbing World Cup hosted here in Bali, Indonesia. We saw a total of 40 female athletes and 66 male athletes attending. It was the first ever Speed Climbing World Cup hosted in Bali, Indonesia, which the athletes had to deal with the high heat and humidity, which affected the athletes' friction on the speed wall. But I'm sure the athletes did enjoy waking up on the beach, fighting crabs, and swimming in the ocean just to go climb later on. We also saw amazing breakout athletes from Team China and Team Indonesia. Adi Ash from Team Indonesia won bronze in her first ever Speed World Cup in her own crowd.
Lovely man.
And the tears of joy.
Yeah, pure emotion there. I mean, she's looked out at the crowd who have gone berserk out there. Look at the celebrations. There are people hugging each other in the audience.
Reaching what every young athlete dream of. And I'm sure you already saw Sam Watson doubled world record run in finals, absolutely silencing any doubt about his form during the Wujing Speed Climbing World Cup, as many people were thinking that Sam Watson was struggling with pressure and could not have performed at his best during all the pressure of Wujing, as many people were calling him to PR, and yet he did not have the best finals appearance.
Also saw Alexandra make her comeback, expressing how during the off-season she was facing a mental battle, and at the start of Wujing, she was dealing with it. But then she eventually realized how she needs to compete, not for the stress, but because she enjoys competing for her sport, which gave her a great confidence battle, which showed her to run very consistently during the Bali World Cup.
Indonesia!
Qualification for the female. We saw many of the athletes who competed in Wujing return to compete in Bali. We did not see Emma Hunt competing in Bali as well, possibly due to traveling time, as it is a 30-hour flight probably. The speed qualification time for top 16 was 7.36. We also saw 9 females from Team Indonesia compete, and also 6 females compete from Team China, filling Team China's roster, which also shows the difference between when you're a host country, how many roster spots you get. We also saw that from China, Zhang Zhang, who won Wujing, false start, making her ineligible to compete in finals, although she had the 6th fastest time in qualification. Alright guys, let's get on to the men's qualification. For the speed climbing male qualification, we saw a lot of favorite athletes. We saw Sam Watson there, who is the current world record holder. We saw Barak, who is an Olympic gold medalist, and we also saw Krimmel, who is also very close to the world record time from Team Indonesia. We also saw that the qualification time for top 16 was sub 5.26. The speed athletes just keep getting faster and faster, pushing the time for the average speed climbing athletes. And we also saw that there was a couple upsets. That camera who slipped multiple times during qualification, which allowed his fastest time to be 6:07, which he previously ran sub 5 in finals in Wujing. And one of the rookies we saw competing in qualifications was Shanghan Chu from China, whose personal best is 4:94. He is so young to be running sub 5. The talent is just crazy. We also saw that there were 6 male athletes from China competing, along with 10 males from Team Indonesia, absolutely filling both of their rosters. Alright, let's move on to finals.
For the female speed final, we saw that the crowd was amazing in Bali, showing that Indonesia has a high potential to become the biggest speed federation in the future, potentially knocking out China, especially with their young and highly motivated athletes with the support of their nation. Team Korea has improved their speed team incredibly in the last couple of years as well. We saw a couple of fan favorite athletes, Desiree Majorita from Indonesia, who also used a Chinese top. We also saw Jimmy Jong coming from her great Yujing performance, and in my opinion, Jimmy Jong had the best smile on the speed climbing circuit. Some of the competitive races we saw in speed final were we also saw a couple of upsets in the final. There's a Chinese top cost Dade Madre the upset against Alexandra Miroslav falling behind in the final, showing that Chinese top just takes a lot of energy. You also saw Jimmy Jong beat Yu Guangding, second fastest female speed climber ever from Team China. And we also saw the biggest upset was Adi Ashi winning bronze in her first ever speed climbing World Cup. A couple of takeaways we can take from final was the experiment of the Chinese top for women might not be the meta, especially with the inconsistency as it requires so much power to do a one-arm jump all the way to the top of the speed wall, which is personally one of my hot takes, but I think it has a great precedent as I've heard many of national coaches say that Chinese top for women just might not be recommended at the time as it just requires so much power, especially after qualifications and final runs. Athletes are just sore and hot and sweaty, and Chinese top might just be too hard. We also saw that there was speculation that Alexandra Miroslav finally maybe fell off with her aging, but also too, Wu Jing did not go the best for her as she was beaten by Emma Hunt in the final and did not run any of her close to personal best runs. But she proved all of that doubt wrong by winning gold in Bali, expressing how she just looks forward to the season and just cannot wait to compete again. For the speed final for the males, we saw a couple of fan favorite athletes competing. Krimlo from Team Indonesia showing his great potential as he's still young and running sub-5 very consistently. We also saw the Ukrainian athlete coming from a silver medal in Rujane, running the first ever sub-5 in Ukraine in Rujane, but also ran a 5-1 lap in qualification, showing that he's still there with his time. We also saw Sam Watson, who ran in his very first final run, 4:88, showing that he was ready to push the world record run in final. Also, everyone is talking about the whole 12 skip and how it's led to world record runs. We also again see the humidity is affecting athlete friction. We also saw that Sam Watson had this signature new beta kick at the top of the wall, and also Sam Watson doubled world record run. We are also going to see many competitive races during speed final.
Writers, right what they know. Liars, right what they wanna show.
And some of the upsets we saw that Barack might have an injured right hand as he was seen grabbing his hand repeatedly during finals, which causing many people to worry about him, and as I am too, because our Olympic medal gold winner is injured, and that's not great right now. We also saw a question of, is this Sam Watson season? As he ran not only sub-5 many times, but every single final run was sub-4.9, which is actually crazy. I think that's the first time an athlete has ever ran sub-4.9 in a final ever. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Which is just utterly insane of Sam Watson's shape. We cannot wait to see what he does, especially too in this next World Cup that is in Denver. Thank you guys for watching the video. I'll be trying my best to keep up with the Denver Speed Climbing World Cup, as I will be expecting to see a couple of my teammates actually compete in the Denver World Cup. Thank you guys for watching again. Make sure you please like and subscribe, and I appreciate you. Thank you.